VeChain has some massive potential in this upcoming bull market for crypto. At our current price, from the all-time high, we're nearly 1,500% away, giving us a 15x potential on VeChain just back to the old all-time high, but it's not over from there. Potentially, we could smash through the old all-time high. So let's take a look in this video and I'll give you my full price prediction for VeChain in 2023 and this upcoming bull run expected to end by 2026. To begin this video, let's look at VeChain on CoinMarketCap. We currently see that the market cap is $1.2 billion for VeChain. We are the 38th biggest cryptocurrency out of around 9,000 different cryptocurrencies, 24-hour volume at $28 million. And we have this circulating supply. It looks like 72 billion adds to circulating supply. So even scroll down, have a look which markets have the biggest depth. We can see Binance basically trading some massive 24-hour volume compared to a lot of other exchanges. And you can see Binance is amongst all of the other exchanges because they're not just trading in USDT terms, they're trading in Bitcoin terms, BUSD terms, Binance BNB terms, and many other different cryptos. So what is VeChain? It began back in 2015, working as a host of enterprises to explore applications of blockchain. VeChain would begin their transition onto the public blockchain in 2017 with the ERC20 token. VeChain has been able to demonstrate massively boosted efficiency, traceability, and transparency across data trails, supply chains with novel kinds of ecosystems such as those San Marino targeting UN SDGs amongst others. And now what we really came here for is the true price prediction. The first absolute thing I do, come to the weekly time frame, also add this 20 exponential moving average to the chart. We also have the 13, which is in between what I like to call the value zone, but mainly just focusing on this orange term, 20 EMA. We can see overall, the 20 EMA basically for over a year has been trending to the downside. We're just looking at the slope and we want to be only trading in the direction of the slope of the EMA. It's clearly sloping to the downside, meaning that we cannot be looking to buy VeChain just yet. We need to be waiting for this entire slope to begin ticking to the upside. Then what we want to be doing is waiting for big pushes to the upside, then wait for these rejections that come back into this exponential moving average zone, very similar to what we see here. Literally just the opposite, where we see big rejections to the downside. We then come back up to the exponential moving average and then continue in the overall direction of the trend. So we want to do the same thing here, where we have the direction of the trend now beginning to uptick, wait for big moves to the upside, come back, wait for that transition back to the average price. We buy into the average price and then look for much higher prices, continuation over a double and triple on our original buys. So that's the first and absolute first thing we know. We cannot be looking to buy, but if you're subscribed and you smash the like button, you will know as soon as I do release the video that when the uptick in the EMA begins, we'll release that video and you will be knowing exactly when you can be getting in to purchase VeChain. Next thing we do, just scroll out again and just looking at the overall price. Where has price overall been trading? We can put a box from the bottom of the range overall to around the top end of the range. Let's put it right in this range rather than all the way at the top. And let's say this is the average price of where price has been trading. We can see we want to really be buying in the bottom 25% of the zone, selling in the top 25% of the zone. We're nearly at that initial price where VeChain launched. Obviously, we're just talking about how it launched in 2017, but the price initially goes back into the middle of 2018. But we can see down at this 1 cent range, we're right now at this 1.7 cent range, and nearly the absolute low was this 0.2 of a cent. So we're really at the bottom end of the range. When I want to be looking to buy, I want to be looking to buy low, sell high, scalp, or long-term trade. Since I'm on a long-term chart such as the weekly, I know it's not going to be scalping because 1 bar is a weekly chart and I need to be waiting for 10, 20, 30 bars in my direction. Well, that's not going to be a scalp trade on the weekly. So we know that we're in the bottom of the range. The second and unfortunate thing we know is we cannot yet be buying, but we will eventually have that uptick in the EMA and that will allow us to finally begin looking to purchase VeChain. But until that point, let's look at some potential levels that we could be getting out of our position, because I really like to do that right now. Before I'm actually emotionally involved in the position, before I've actually got any money involved, I like to take my position, understand where are some potential points that I'm looking to be taking positions off, even 10-20% of my initial position size. One of the first levels that really sparks out to me is this support to resistance level flip right in this area here. There's actually sort of two levels where we have an initial level here, and we also have a high level up here where we've got even more support. So we scroll into this left side of the chart. The first bottom one right through here, we can see came down and supported, came down and supported, came down and supported. We've obviously got that crack below this level. In this level as well, we've supported a little bit higher, we've supported a little bit higher, supported a little bit higher. Also support, support, support in this zone. We then got the crackdown. Look at this level, came back up. Also look at the slope of the EMA, clearly trending to the downside, came back to the EMA. Not only that, came back to this support to resistance level flip zone in this area, and then used that as that continuation below. So both of these levels are definitely going to see at least a small amount of selling in these areas. So we would be looking to get at least a small portion of our position out. Let's just say we want to get 10% here. Let's say we want to get 20% here. We've got 30% of our position size. Potentially that could pay for all of our initial payment. Let's say we got $1,000 in initially. To that first point, that's about 150% gain. Second point, about 330% gain. So even getting out 30% of your position at around 250% gain would nearly be your entire initial capital back. So you'd be able to chop 30% off. You have all your initial capital back. You then have 70% to leave in this position, potentially push a lot higher. But then you also have that reserve capital, that initial capital that you've now sold out of that 30% to then put in some new coins, some new potential, some new blood. Potentially a new hot coin has come out. The airdrop of Friendtech has come out. There's all these coins, there's all these potentials that are always dropping. You always need some liquid capital, and that's why I personally love a strategy like that. Since there's no more support to the resistance level flips that really point out to me in the market, we've also got this high in between this area, sort of where we got this second high and this first high. There's a big gap in the price. It's nearly a double from this top here to this top here. And there's a big gap overall, very short amount of time traded in between this price. One thing I like to do is this Fibonacci retracement tool, use it on this reverse side to go from top to bottom. Then you can see we've got this 1618, the 0.618 level in the market, which is very, very significant in the market and is one of the levels that you'll definitely see at least a small amount of selling. And you can see how significant it is. Where does it line up? It lines up with this second high after we made this all-time high, made this big push up before we had that major collapse to the downside. So from our current level, that is around 1,000% gain. So that would be one of my positions where I'm looking to get out a good portion. Maybe I get out, basically have 80% of my entire position out, just leave either 10 or 20% left to overall ride on the position. But that would be really where I'm looking to get out one of the major portions of my position. The one and last thing I can do is because if we are expecting to make above to the old all-time high, we were just talking about VeChain had a $1.2 billion market cap, making 1,000% up to the upside is a 10x in price, meaning we would go to $12 billion market cap, which is definitely potential on VeChain. $12 billion market cap isn't a crazy price. So when we come over to here, use a trend-based Fibonacci extension, go from bottom to top. Then from this current bottom here, we then get some other extensions in price. The 1618, which is the major level that I like to look at, that is probably a little bit too far if I'm currently looking at now, about 25x, 2,500% gain to the upside. So 25x again, 12 times 25 would put us at around 35 billion dollar market cap. Again, slightly pushing it, but again, still potential for VeChain. Maybe they come out with something crazy. Maybe the entire crypto market is able to absolutely explode and we see absolute trillions of dollars come in. That would be one of my final targets. You will find if you do some back testing that Ethereum and Bitcoin usually end their bull runs in this type of price level, which if we look from the current price would put it between 6,000 and nearly 8,000%, which again is a little bit far-fetched. But overall, even if we can just hit some of these smaller targets in here, we make 130% initially, we then make 330%, and then we finish off with 1,000% gain to the upside. Massive potential on VeChain. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, tap that notification bell. Check out this video description where you can find my trading masterclass at 50% off, and you can sign up with a top global crypto exchange.